Okay, for sprint number 7, I've managed to get the objectives done and then a little bit more. So first of all, we have the first of our bounding volumes created, the bounding sphere here, created and hooked in through the collidable class. The collision system framework is pretty much unchanged. The main difference is that now the test result, instead of being default to just true always, calls the static collision test method in the collidable class. That collision test method there calls the intersection between the bounding sphere and another bounding sphere. Like the note says here, I assume that this will change as we add more bounding volumes. We'll have a bounding volume superclass so that we can just leave this line to be the same no matter what bounding volumes we're testing against. But in for this week's sprint, in the bounding sphere, we've got the intersect method, which just tests a sphere collision between this and the other one, and that is easily enough distance between the centers squared. If that is less than the square of the radius sums, then the spheres are overlapping and thus colliding. So that's routed through the system, and I've also put the visualizer in with a command system routed through so that the render sphere calls can be made anywhere in the code, like I have here for the textured frigate. The update tick right here has the render call, not the draw tick, but as you can see from here, it does still render correctly. I've also added the starting workings of the God camera. I still need to add the Shift Alt Control booleans to my key pressed so that I can make this, a workable moving camera system. Right now, it'd be incredibly unwieldy with far too many buttons to deal with without the Shift Control Alt. But other than that, the other extra things I've done is I've started to put a command factory together. I underestimated the amount of typing that was going to be, so for now I just have the .h together. I haven't gotten into the .cpp. One thing I need to look at a little bit more, I'll actually open up the code that I have for that command factory here. So the way I have in my other the other factories that I've created so far, I just use lists for active and inactive, but the other factories that I've created are just user-side factories. They're working with generally a small pool of things. I assume the command factory is going to have a much higher volume, and so I'd rather have a faster way to remove commands from the active list and place them on the inactive list. And obviously with the unordered list, that's going to be an ON operation. I don't know if there's a better way to do that than just iterate through the list when you want to remove something from active and put it in inactive. Just iterate through the list until you find the one that you want to get off the active list. Something I'll have to look into, I guess, for the standard containers. But that's the work I've done for today. The collision system class diagram is a little messy because I'm not sure exactly how to put it all together. I think the big engine diagram is a little bit cleaner, but obviously because it has more things in it, it's a little less useful to look at off the bat. It also doesn't go into as much detail. I don't have the notes in the larger scale engine diagram, but the essential elements are still there. The render command for the visualizer's command system. We've got down here still the collidable and its bounding sphere. And the collision manager is unchanged. I think that's it for this week's sprint.